I trying to grow a brand new Pinterest account in 2025? Then watch till the end, because if you make these 5 mistakes, you'll be guaranteed to have zero money from Pinterest. First of all, why you should listen to me? I'm Nick. I'm founder of Blog2Pin. It's the Pinterest automation tool. In my understanding, it's the best Pinterest automation tool, but you can use whatever you want. The data doesn't change. I just have a lot of data from a lot of customers, a lot of interviews, just observing a lot of accounts, and I observed like hundreds and hundreds of accounts, probably more than anyone you could ever imagine. So I have a lot of information on what exactly works, what exactly doesn't work, and what can prevent you from growing on Pinterest. So first of all, the first big issue is time and consistency. Earlier, maybe 1 year ago, if you created a brand new account and you just started pinning, you could start ranking in 2 weeks and just skyrocket your traffic. It is almost never like this anymore. You can't start blasting out pins instantly. You usually end up in the sandbox period for like 2, 3, 4 months. It's when you have almost zero growth. You have like 500 impressions a day, like maybe a few clicks here and there, but almost no real results to make money. So how to fix this, how to overcome this is, first of all, you should keep being consistent, keep creating pins. It doesn't mean you should create 30 pins per day. If you are still in this so-called sandbox period, it means you should go slower, maybe create 5, maybe create 7 pins per day until Pinterest likes you, and then you can start increasing. Second of all, you probably just want to log into your Pinterest account and just scroll through it, understand what you like, what you don't like, and make sure Pinterest understands you're a real person behind the brand. And another important thing is you should give Pinterest probably at least 3 to 4 months to start showing you real results. It's very uncommon to start seeing decent Pinterest results in first 1 to 2 months. If you want to speed run the process, you probably need to warm up your Pinterest account. You need to create it in advance. You need to let it sit for like 1 month, 1.5 months, so that Pinterest understands you are a natural, real person behind the brand. But if you just create a brand new Pinterest account and you start blasting out pins instantly, then Pinterest will probably send you into sandbox period. And as I said, you just need to be consistent during that period and not give up. Of course, during this period, what helps is, of course, like my Blog2Pin tool. I've personally had one account which was on sandbox period for 3 months. And it's really demotivating when you have a Pinterest account and it doesn't grow. And what helped me go through is that I had just a tool which I created myself, which just like in 5 minutes I could schedule pins for a whole month. If you don't want to use the automation, you can do it yourself, but it's just important to keep being consistent in this period. And if you're not consistent, it probably means that you won't get any results. Simple as that. Another thing here is the wrong focus. You might be prioritizing wrong boards, you might be prioritizing wrong pages, wrong templates, wrong colors. Pinterest usually tells you what exactly works, or wrong niches. So if you like understand that certain niche works for you, it doesn't mean that you should start working on another really different niche. You should double down on what already works, on the niches which works. So for instance, I don't know, if you're in a home decor niche and you understand that, I don't know, bathroom decor works really well for you, then you probably should keep working on this sub niche. You shouldn't just go into kitchens or something like this. You should first of all prioritize what already works. The same with all the templates. If you have some kind of template which works for you and brings you the best results, you probably want to double down on that. If you have some color palettes which usually work the best, you also want to double down on that. In Blog2Pin, in the tool I created, there is a certain section here called breakdowns, where you can just like go through which URLs works, which images works, which templates works, which resolution works, and which color palettes even work. So you can see here that usually when I have either red or green color palette, it works better than when I have blue color palette. And the same way, I can also see which template. For instance, this template brings me around 700 views on average, and this one brings me around 200 views on average. So I probably shouldn't use that anymore. So, and the same way with the boards, I can see that, hey, which boards work the worst for me and which boards work the best for me. And you can iterate based on this data, understand what really works. And then once you understand what really works, you can grow much, much faster. I have a great case study here of a customer of Block2Pin. He at some point got his account to around like 1,000, 1.2 thousand outbound clicks per day. It's a great result. There was still room for improvement, but yet it was a very decent result. At some point, he decided to change the strategy a bit, to change the templates, change the colors, etc. And then his growth stalled, and then he started dropping. And from 1.2k outbound clicks per day, he dropped to around 600, and he kept dropping. When he used these breakdown features in Block2Pin, he understood that basically all the high-performing templates he had, he deleted all of them because he wanted to try something new. All the high-performing color palettes, he also deleted them. He wanted to try something new. And when he brought them back down, and he also reprioritized certain high-performing URLs and doubled down on that, he bounced back to 1.1k outbound clicks per day, and he's still growing. So what does it tell us is that you should probably just focus on what already works. You shouldn't be lazy. You shouldn't trust your gut. You should trust the data which Pinterest tells you, and it will certainly help you grow faster. Of course, you can do it without Block2Pin, without breakdowns, etc. You can go through your Pinterest account, understand what works, what doesn't work. You can go through your Google Analytics, etc. You have all the data you need. It's just the tool I created. I think it's the most valuable, but you can do it any way you want. The main reason I tell you this is that I want you to prioritize on data and prioritize on what already works. And if we go to the next thing is underperforming pins. When you create Pinterest pins and you create a lot of pins, not all of them are meant to perform. Some of them don't perform. Some of them just never get the traction. And if in 6 to 9 months, you can see that your pins just didn't take off. They have 5 impressions when on average you have 200 impressions on pins. It means you should probably just remove those pins. Why? Because Pinterest would think of your account better. Just imagine from Pinterest point of view. If you have a lot of rubbish pins which never work, or if you delete them and then majority of your pins rank, Pinterest starts trusting you more. It delays kind of shadow ban. So if Pinterest decides hey, whom do I want to shadow ban? It will probably never shadow ban the person who has a lot of good performing pins and almost no underperforming. So if you want to do it, you can of course do it manually. Once again, go through Pinterest Analytics, understand which pins that doesn't work, and just delete them. I have in Block2Pin in my tool, I also have the delete underperforming pins feature. Here you can see all the pins which are underperforming. You can bulk select them and you can just delete them. Once again, you can do it yourself, but hey, in the tool it's easier. Another thing, it's probably the most important one, and it's the pin quality. And while Pinterest is a search engine, it's still all about visuals. And if your pins don't look good, chances of you ranking are extremely low. And they are almost zero. So what do you want to do in this case is, first of all, you need to understand if your visuals are good. So for instance, imagine if you're in a steak niche and you understand that, hey, these are all the steak recipes which are ranking. First of all, the images themselves, they're pretty good. The templates, they are good. You should understand whether your templates, whether your pins, whether your images, they look decent, they can outperform it or no. Because if your images are blurry, if the text is not visible enough, then it probably won't rank. And if you understand that your pins are worse than what you see here, then you should probably improve your pins. Easy as that. In Block2Pin, you can of course create pins the simple way. These are the pins which are generated a lot of time in advance, and there are a lot of pins which look good. They look very similar to, for instance, this one. But you can also create the AI pins. For instance, you want to create some beautiful AI pins for mojito recipe. I just click generate pins, and it will go generate beautiful, unique, completely unique AI pins for me, which would certainly, if I search here for mojito recipe, they would certainly have high chances to outrank whatever is there. So we can see that our 3 unique Pinterest pins are generated. We can see that they look pretty good. Best mojito recipe, proven tips, Mojito that saves you money. That's interesting. And you can see that the visuals, the text, everything, it just looks very good. And it has a very high chances of outranking whatever is there. So you can also use this inside blog to pin, but just like no matter the tool, just make sure that your pins, they look good and they have actually chances of outranking. So if Pinterest still decides to put them in number one, they will attract clicks, they will attract eyeballs, and they will bring joy to the and useful experience to the pinners. And the last thing, it's probably like the most important, it's the niche. Some niches work much better than others on Pinterest, and some niches, they just like never work, no matter what you try. Some people view Pinterest as like one-to-one replacement of Google. I'd say it's not true. While Pinterest can work for a lot of niches, there are certain niches which are not going to work either based on like their platform policies, because they can just like ban you if you promote like something adult, or I don't know, something sketchy medical, they can just get you banned, or there are just not enough eyeballs. Important to understand that Pinterest is still like mostly like a female, mostly inspirational platform, not like purely informational. So that's why you need to understand like, hey, whether your niches are Pinterest friendly. It's like food and recipes, home decor, like wedding, gardening, like some flowers, parenting, maybe health, maybe I don't know, some hairstyles, haircuts, maybe some travel tips, maybe some financing, etc. There are a lot of good niches on Pinterest, but still there are a lot of bad niches, and there is like a very easy way to understand if your niche is good or bad on Pinterest. You just need to search your niche, and for instance, you're in construction niche, and you just search construction. You understand that, hey, these are your probably like competitors. You open the pin, you open the account, you see it has like 1.4 million monthly views. It means that despite the niche is interesting, there is a chance of getting like 1.4 million monthly views. It means it's on average like 15,000 outbound clicks per month, or 500 clicks per day, pretty decent. But if, for instance, there wasn't a case like this, and stock cake is just a library of stock photos, okay? But if, for instance, there wasn't a case of this with like big account making this kind of big results, also probably you should just double check which exactly pins rank there. Maybe they are lower than that. But if, for instance, the account was like, I don't know, 10,000 monthly views, and it was the biggest account in the niche, I don't know, something like AI. If you Google AI, and if you search, I don't know, you probably won't find like a very like big Pinterest account on AI. This like the first I had in the search results, it has only like 20,000 monthly views. And when you see something like this, you shouldn't magically hope that, hey, all of the competitors, they get 20,000 monthly views, but I'm the genius. I will make 2 million views. 20 million views, hundreds of thousands of outbound clicks. It probably won't happen. So if you don't want to just waste your time, waste your energy, and waste your resources, you probably want to like focus on Pinterest friendly niches. I think that's it for me. If you don't make like these 5 mistakes, if you choose a good niche, if you make sure that your pins are high quality, if you make sure that you clear your underperforming pins at some point, if you make sure that you review your results, see what works, see what doesn't work, and double down on what exactly works and probably remove what doesn't work. And if you put in enough time, if you don't give up in like months or 2, then you are set up for success on Pinterest. And if you need any help, need an automation to create beautiful Pinterest pins, you can go to Blog to Pin. I think it's the best Pinterest automation tool, but it's up to you to decide. Of course, you can do everything manually. If you have any extra questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'd be glad to answer and help you, and see you soon.